Welcome to Winners, Wallets, and Worldviews, the only show that's going to teach you
how to be somebody.
Where in your life did you learn that you're not good enough?
Take what you're most passionate about and what you're most fearful of, and what is the plan to overcome that fear, and what is the plan to enact that passion.
Welcome to Winners, Wallets, and Worldviews. I am your host, AJ Armstrong. You can go to Instagram and follow me at AaronArmstrong33, or you can go to my website, AaronJArmstrong.com. Wow, guys, what a crazy week and month this has been. 2020 has just been crazy in general, and we're now recording this in the midst of the coronavirus, and whatever opinions or thoughts you might have, there's no question that this is causing a lot of fear and anxiety among the citizens of the United States and of the world, for that matter. So it's a really interesting time here, and my thoughts and my prayers are with you all as we prepare for whatever could happen. I mean, this could be, for all we know, some kind of cover up for some bigger conspiracy, if you're into that. This could be just a virus that's going through and it's gonna, thin out the population, or there could be much less severe repercussions with this as well. It could just be a cold or flu. So I don't know what side of the spectrum you fall on, but nonetheless, the media seems to be taking hold of this and blasting it down your throats of all the different sides of the story they can put together, and it's causing a lot of confusion and uncertainty with the markets and with entrepreneurship. In fact, it's even slowed down a deal we've been working on for the last couple months. So wherever you're at in this journey, I think that the piece of advice that I will give you before we jump into introducing our guest for today is know that you can focus on yourself, and no matter how uncertain the environment is around you, you can prepare yourself for anything, whatever there is to come. And the guest that we had on today, Josh York, we talked about this quite extensively, of how you can change your business to adapt to the environment, but not only your business, and this is something that I'm going to talk about with you guys quickly before we jump into it, but changing yourself in this uncertain time. You can prepare yourself. You can prepare your immune system to be stronger, healthier. You can prepare your body to be stronger, healthier, to face whatever it is that could come to you with the best possible solution. You can prepare your body for any type of fights or engagements that are going to come out when chaos starts to wreak havoc and currency becomes nothing and the end of the world as we know it starts to arrive. If you believe that that could be a possibility, preparing yourself is how you're going to get out of this. There's nobody out there but you guys and the people that you know and the people you trust. So no matter how far down the doomsday rabbit trail you plan to travel down, the advice that I would give you and all the listeners out there is to prepare yourself by taking care of yourself, by studying what could happen, by reading up on skills, knowledge, attributes, the things that you're going to need should any situation arise. There's currently the internet is working. Amazon is still delivering books. There's still food around. This is the time to prepare yourself for something that could happen, whether it's some type of extreme revolution, whether it's some type of apocalypse, or whether it's just as simple as catching a cold and being able to fight that off. The fact of the matter is that you have the opportunity to prepare yourself now before this becomes a serious epidemic in your personal life. So that is the note to you guys. You are in control of your destiny, regardless of what the environment looks like, regardless of how stable it might be. You are in control of your own path between you and the Lord that you worship. And that is, I think, what we need to look at during these times. If this is the end of days, which some preachers have been talking about, I think it's important to understand that we are broken and we should repent to our Savior. And you guys out there who don't believe should consider it. And you should consider thinking about it. And for those of you who do believe, I encourage you to repent and pray, because those are things that are totally out of your control, that you, or the result of praying and repenting is out of your control. But what you do have in your control is the ability to pray and repent. So, as I leave my soapbox, I'd like to introduce a very interesting guest we had today. It was a very fast, high-energy podcast. So during this time of uncertainty and during this time of pandemonium, of this time of chaos, if you will, we wanted to provide some value to you guys in the form of just motivation to get into focus and take care of what needs to take care of. So this podcast was fast and tight. I think we only talked for about 20 minutes or so. Josh is a very busy guy. Recently featured on Gary Vaynerchuk's podcast. He's also been going all over the country on different podcasts and speaking tours as well. He's a very established entrepreneur. So Josh York is an American entrepreneur. He's the founder and CEO of a company called Gym Guys, and it's the fastest growing fitness franchise in the country. Now, Gym Guys is the #1 in-home personal training, providing convenient, customized, and creative workouts for a setting that works best for whatever client. And they're headquartered in Plainview, New York, and Gym Guys operates over 250 franchises, over 31 states and 3 different countries. A little bit about Josh is in 2008, he started Gym Guys in the dining room of his parents' home with a laptop and a vision. The demand for an in-home personal training was growing during this time, and that's where Gym Guys started to grow. In 2014, he received approval to franchise the Gym Guys brand, and before you guys know it, he was completely launching a business on a whole new level. So he's been featured in numerous different publications to include Inc. magazine, Forbes, NBC, New York Times. He's been seen all over the place. And as I mentioned earlier, he was just on Gary Vaynerchuk's podcast. He's been seen connecting with people like Ed Milet. He's been seen connecting with all sorts of influencers all over the country. And this guy is really sensational when it comes to how you can really engage with the people around you and provide a ton of fuel and energy in your life. So he's the author of the best-selling book, Fuel, What It Takes to Survive as an Entrepreneur. And without any further ado, this guy was really a fireball to talk to, and it was really exciting for me. So guys, I encourage you to share this with people, and this is going to be a huge pick-me-up for high-energy podcasts coming at you today. So without any further ado, folks, welcome to the show.
So check this out. We got Josh York on the phone here, and we are going to have a fast, tight, high-energy podcast coming at you guys. Josh, thanks so much.
My pleasure, man. Appreciate you having me. Thank you very much. Let's get rocking and rolling.
Dude, I love it. So I want to know a little bit about your story, your background. I know you're founder of Gym Guys. It's online, or it's a virtual training business where you bring trainers to people's houses. But that was a pretty radical concept when you came up with it. And I want to learn a little bit more about that. And I want to also dig into the key lessons in entrepreneurship that you learned when you launched this Gym Guys business, and then some of the life lessons you took away from that as well. So just let's dig into it, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I started this back in 2008 out of my parents' dining room with a laptop and a vision. I like to call that vision our guarantee. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. In 15 to 20 years, we will be the largest fitness brand in the world. The chances of that not happening, well, as I always like to say, you got a higher probability of seeing elephants fly. We've already grown faster than any other fitness brand in history. We've started franchising in 2014. Currently with 251 locations. We're in 31 states. We're in 3 countries, about to go into our 4th country. And literally what we've done is we've taken the brick and mortar out of the picture, and we literally bring the workout to you. We come in our fully loaded van, stocked with 365 pieces of equipment. That's enough workout to provide you with a fantastic workout each and every day of the year, backed by our 3 C's, and that's convenient, customized, and creative workouts. So we service clients anywhere: home, office, pool, park, place of worship, hospitals, senior homes, assisted living facilities. You want to work out in the closet? We can make it happen. Like I said, we bring it to you. And especially right now, what's going on with this coronavirus, our business is definitely really, really pumping because people do not want to go to the gym, and now gyms are actually shut down. So we are literally coming to them, working out indoors. If they're not comfortable, working out outdoors. If they're not comfortable with that, we're actually doing virtual online sessions for the time being until this passes, because trust me, as I always say, this too shall pass.
That's right. Hey, that's a great. So that's the same thing. So my wife owns Marissa's Fit Boutique. It's a personal training. Everybody's shutting down. Big box gyms all over the place shutting down because this coronavirus thing going on. And we're staying open because she's only recycling in 25 to 50 people through her studio. Where did you guys figure out how to adapt? What are you guys doing to adapt to this? And do you plan on shutting down, and if so, what's going on with you? You're thinking there?
Yeah, well, there's no need to shut down because we're not a gym, number one, and we're only training people one-on-one. And if we're doing groups, they're under 10 people. And right now, we're not going to really be doing large corporation classes because most of the businesses are closed. But we're coming to you, obviously. Number one, we've always had an intense cleaning process. We've obviously stepped up our measures to take it to an even higher level. But at the end of the day, we're keeping distance. We've always had a no-touch policy. So it really doesn't affect us. It doesn't really affect us that much. If there are people who are not comfortable, which is okay and understandable, we're just going to do it virtually online, just like we're doing this call right now.
Yeah, I love it, man. So what's the lesson in, for entrepreneurs? The market's crashing. Small businesses are hurting, I think, more than anybody right now as we're talking during this, coronavirus thing going on. What's the lesson in adaptability for startups, for small businesses, for entrepreneurs? Like, what do you tell them? What's the message for these guys?
Never quit. Be able to understand that pain equals growth. Be able to understand that at the end of the day, everything takes time. You must have patience. Nothing happens overnight. And it's just a matter of just really, really, really being focused. A lot of people lack that ability to be focused. A lot of people lack it because they're scared. Most people live in fear. Fear stands for false expectations appearing real. And people just get scared every day and don't want to, really be able to understand that, hey, you know what? This is going to be challenging. Things are not going to happen one time by doing something one time. It might take you 500 times. It might take you 700 times, but you just never quit. And when you have the mentality and the understanding and the mindset to never quit, you will always win. It's very simple, but you have to be able to, take the pain, and understand, like, it's great to handle the highs, but how do you handle the lows? Most people don't have the ability to handle the lows. Like right now, what's going on in the world? Think about why this is happening for you, not to you. Why is it happening for you? Because it's making you stronger. It's making you understand that, look, things do happen. And adversity is a very good thing. It's a very good thing.
What's your advice for those people that are getting stuck? Like, it's easy to say it. It's easy to talk about it. Like, to keep moving forward, to keep driving. What got you through the hard parts? What keeps you going every single day? What's the advice you got to just pull someone that's in a rut out and say, let's get it, let's go, let's move?
I am the most mentally tough person you'll ever meet in your life. That's it. I don't care what anyone's got to say about that. I believe that. Everyone else should believe that about themselves. But business and life general, just overview, is 80% mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, you'll never succeed at anything. And, you got to also be making sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people. Show me the 5 friends you hang out with, and I'll show you your future. It's very simple. So, mindset's a very, very big component to that. Very big component to that.
So you keep your energy so high all the time. I'm watching you. I'm watching your speeches. Just on this call, it's like, look, we're tight. We're keeping this thing focused. I got a business to run, and we're here. We're present. How do you stay so engaged, so high energy? What are your hacks? What are your techniques? What are you doing that just keeps your motor moving?
I just do things that other people won't do because I'm going to have that other people won't have. It's very, very simple. Eagles fly alone, my friend. That's it. Eagles fly alone. And at the end of the day, most people don't understand me. Most people have a lot of bad things to say about me, and a lot of people have great things to say about me. The one who wears the crown, the one who leads, wears the crown that's the heaviest. It's very, very simple. And if you want to be a leader, you better lead by example, especially right now. We have tough times going on. Now, if I were to stress, which I don't do anymore because I've taught myself how to manage it, I've taught myself how to not to suffer from anxiety, I've taught myself how to deal with all this type of stuff because over the years, practice makes perfect. And when you continuously perfect your craft to get better and sharpen your tools, you become immune to it. And what I've always done is just put myself in very uncomfortable situations because when you do that, it allows you to be comfortable. And that's been something that has been my key. But anything I do, whether I'm taking out the trash, or whether I'm cleaning dishes, or whether I'm running my business, I'm the best at it. I make sure everything I do, I'm the best at it. And I give it my all, my 1,000%.
just staying dialed in, just staying focused, like where you're at right here. So much energy just in this moment. You know, I can just see the presence in you.
Listen, the fact of the moment is right. The fact is, right now, I should not be doing this call. I don't even want to do this call. I'm too busy. I have so much going on. You know, we have over 600 employees. We got lots of things going on. Trying to manage a lot right now. But right now, for the next 25 minutes or whatever the remaining of this call, I'm here, right? I'm here, and that's it. And once I get off this call, I'm going to get back to what I was doing and get the job done, and I won't leave until the job is finished. But you got to be present. Like, you know, a lot of people ask me to post videos of my workout when I'm doing my workout, and it's a rare thing I do. I do it once in a while, but the reason I don't do it is because when I'm there, I'm there. That's it. I might do something when I'm done, just maybe give some motivation or say something, but when I'm actually in it, I rarely do that because I'm focused. And that comes down to mindset. And you got to have the right mindset. Look, normal doesn't work. That's it. A lot of people call me weird. Yeah, I'm definitely weird. I'm not normal. I take that as the highest compliment ever when people tell me I'm crazy. I love that compliment. I'm crazy in a good way, obviously, but at the end of the day, normal's never going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah, you're clearly willing to work. You're clearly, you know, you got a motor, you're bulldog, but like, tell me there's more to it, right? So there's people that are out there hustling, running around in circles, and there's people like you that are hustling, but they're moving in a direction. Tell me how you figure out that you're not just talking, that you're not just running around in circles. What's your strategy to make sure that, like, I'm making the right choices too? I'm not just sitting here burning a hole in the ground, digging, going nowhere. But how do you figure out the right things to work at as well? I think there's a strategy to this, right?
Listen, you're never going to figure out everything. Everything's never going to be 100%. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to fail a lot. You have to be okay with failing. Failing is really great. That's how you learn. People always ask me all the time, what would you do if you could do it all over again? Like, what would you do? What would you change? And the answer is nothing. I wouldn't change a freaking goddamn thing. Why? Because everything that's happened has gotten me to where I am today. And everything that you go through is just another door that's going to open and another door that's going to close. But at the end of the day, it's about never giving up. Everyone wants to be successful, but no one wants to pay the price. Everyone wants the gold, but people just say, you know what? The silver is not that bad. I'll settle for the silver. Not me. I don't settle for anything. I only settle for perfection, to be the best. The only number I know is number one. I've never had a backup plan in my life, and I never will. Very simple.
What's your day look like? Just walk me through what your day's like. I can tell you're busy. I can tell you freaking work. I can tell you barely sleep. What's that look like?
So I'm up every day at 3:45 like clockwork. Get up in the morning, take my shower, get ready, eat a small little breakfast, get my workout in, followed by my intense cardio, followed by my sauna, followed by my ice bath every single day. Then I head to my office. My office is anywhere between 7 and 7:15, and just working all day, depending on whether I'm traveling or what's going on. And usually I could be here anywhere from, sometimes I leave at 5:36, sometimes I'm here till 10 o'clock at night. Go home, get my stuff done, and do it all over again.
Do you have any family at all?
I do. 2 kids, wife, and I balance it all out. Always.
Tell me about that. So I get a lot of excuses from people saying, like, I'm a family man now. I don't got time to work. I don't have time to do this. I got to focus. But like, clearly a man like you who's still cranking and still working, still got a motor, can make time for their family and can make time for that.
Listen, first of all, there's no such thing as work-life balance. If anyone tells you that, they're full of shit. I'll tell you that right now. There's no such thing as work-life balance. It's time management. How do you manage your time? I am the king at managing time, but I'm also up. That's why I'm up so early. By the time the rest of the world gets up, I've already eaten like 3 meals. I've already gotten like 10, 15 things done, and I just make it work. And I have methods that work for me and rituals that I've developed over the years with, when I come home, the problem is I am obsessed with my phone. Like, I can't stop. Like, I never turn it off, ever. I'm 365, 24/7. I never, ever stop, ever. But you know what? The minute you stop and you take your foot off the gas, someone else is going to come there and they're going to eat your cheese. Well, no one's going to eat my cheese because I won't allow anyone eating my cheese. That's just not allowed. But at the end of the day, I'm still giving my kids a bath every night. I'm still putting my kids to bed. sometimes, yes, I'm traveling. Sometimes I'm not home. Sometimes things change, but I always make time. I'm always there. I'm not one of these parents that takes my kids to the park and sits on the bench and hangs out on my phone. I'm always involved. I'm always on top of that. That is something that's very important because you'll never get that time back. But if you also want to be successful, you got to understand you got to be able to, risk some things and also understand that some things you might not be able to get to and you might not be able to do. So, you got to obviously have the balance and figure out how you can do that with still being a freaking animal and crushing it.
Love it. And I think that's something a lot of people got to figure out, is like you can cram way more into a day than you think. That's because you're messing around, you're wasting your time. Tell me, give me one good key tactic, key hack for your time management situation. What do you do? Do you do it in a calendar? Do you have a handwritten notepad? Do you have an assistant? What's your thing? How are you the king? Why are you the king?
Well, I have a calendar every day, and I know the night prior what's my my priorities for the day. What's the number one most important thing? The number two most important thing, and the number three most important thing. I focus on 3 things that I have to accomplish and get done every single day. Sometimes it can be 7 to 10 things, 20 things. It depends on how big of the task is, but everything always starts with extreme torture in the morning. My workouts that I do that are not even normal, and I do that because that just keeps me sane, gets my mind right, and it's really like the anchor to me for just that really just puts me through to the day. It's extremely important, very important.
Yeah. Prioritization, making sure you understand all those different targets that need to be tackled the next day ahead of time, like where you're going to shoot. Can't hit a target you can't shoot, you can't see. One thing I wanted to ask you is you got a team, you're growing your business. It's turning really large. How do you manage your employees? What are the values you instill in your company, instill in others, instill in your team and your team members? And why is your company going to take off because of how you manage them?
Yep. So I created the concept Fuel Your Drive, which is also the name of my podcast. Fuel are the 4 components that every business model needs to be successful: fun, unity, earnings, and leadership. You can't run a business without it. Really, 4 pillars of success. And that's tied in with drive. Drive, those are our core values. And obviously, you're not driving anywhere without fuel. Determination, respect, integrity, versatility, and excellence. Every single person has to embody those values. But all this comes down to one thing: EI, emotional intelligence. If you don't have emotional intelligence, you will never win. If you're not good with people, if you don't understand you're in the people business, if you don't understand and think here first and here second, you will never, ever, ever, ever succeed. Ever.
What are you looking for in people when you try to identify what those skills are, what those EQ skills are, that emotional intelligence? What are you looking for in your employees and your people? What do you train in your other trainers to talk about, to discuss your different franchisees? What is that? What are those skills you're looking for them to get?
Well, the first thing I ask myself is, would I trust this person to watch my kid? Either of them. That's the first thing I ask. And if the answer is no, I won't even move forward. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I ask. It's a vibe. It's an intuition. I can't explain it. I can't talk about it. It's just you just know.
You just feel it.
You just know. You have to feel it. You never hire for skill ever. It's a very big mistake a lot of people do. You always hire for attitude. Attitude, you can never, ever train. Skill, you can.
What is the thing that you say really drives you? You're clearly driven. You want to be the best. You're really competitive. What is your why? Why are you doing this?
I just want to make a difference in the world, number one. Number two, show my kids what it is to work hard and how you can achieve anything you want in your life. Nothing was ever handed to me. I've killed myself and really done everything to get to where we are today, and still kill myself every single day. But the fact of the matter is, I just love the game. It's a game to me. I love it. I just love playing the game. But, when you can make a living and make a difference and really help people, which we do every day, it's really, really special. And sometimes I go out and people don't even know who I am. They'll just see me wearing a Gym Guy shirt. Like, oh, I use Gym Guys. My God, they've helped me so much. I lost 60 pounds. And, then I tell them who I am, and it's just like, great. And I've received hundreds of letters over the years, some with literally like stains on it, like water stains from someone literally writing it and crying because we've changed their life. And there's just nothing more special than that.
I heard a story about that you were telling one time. I'd like you to see if you could tell the same story. It was about you were coming up in a situation in your business where you weren't able to make payroll, and you had to go out and you had to create some kind of you had to do something for it. Well, can you tell that story if you remember?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I had to come up with roughly around $20,000 to make payroll, This was a Friday. I needed it by Monday, and I had no money, literally no money. Now, most people will fold like a cheap chair. Most people will cry and find excuses and say this is not going to work anymore. I can't do this. I have to file for bankruptcy. Oh my God, and every other excuse under the sun. But that just means that they're weak, and most people are very, very weak. So me, I drove to a casino. And I had $5,000 in my life savings. And I was like, you know what? If I get hit red a couple times, I just got to hit it 4 times. I can make payroll and be all set. I actually really contemplated doing that. And then I was like, this is a very bad idea. It's not a smart idea. Actually called someone who I respected at the time, who's helped me with some really big business moves I made, which I already knew he was going to say the same thing. But I was like, it's not a good idea. So I came up with the second plan. I literally called every single client I had, gave away over 100 free sessions. I couldn't take credit cards because I actually needed the money because I had to actually go to the bank and put it in with a check that day. So it was ready for the Monday payroll. I raised $46,000 overnight. I only needed 20. I raised it overnight. There's always a way. But most people aren't willing to go the full length. Most people are just going to give up. I share so many golden nuggets, so many different, speeches or whatever I'm doing. And the craziest thing is I always have a line of people always want to, say hello and talk to me. And they always ask me, would you be willing to help me out? And I always say yes. To this day, how many people have actually called me and emailed me to this day?
How many? Big old zero.
Zero. No one takes action. Everyone talks a big game, but no one takes action. Shame.
And you're right. You got to be able to execute. And I think you're absolutely right. Most people won't do that. $46,000 in a weekend seems impossible. And I think the reason it sounds impossible is because most people are understanding what they're willing to do and what you're willing to do different. And that comes back to your earlier message. You're willing to go the distance. You're willing. There's a range of possibilities of things that can happen. And you've identified one of them. And I can call 100 people and I can figure out which ones of these people are going to pay me. And I can get an idea of how much money I can achieve. But the most people are going to look at that 100 customers, 100 clients, whatever it is. They're going to say, that doesn't seem realistic, or it seems very difficult. And I think what you said is it doesn't matter how hard it is. It matters, is it possible? Mm-hmm. And if it's possible, that's where the work comes in. I think if everybody could look at things that way, that's where you're different. That's what you're saying. Like, that's where I'm different, right? You're like, I will go here. If it's possible, it can be done and I'll get there. And I think that's the message people should take away from learning from you. And I think that's why you just fire me up, man. That's why it just gets me moving, because it's like seeing you do this. It's like, this guy's going to do it. Shit, I got to do it,
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, man. Very much so. Thank you.
Well, hey, dude. Well, hey, I really appreciate you coming on. I wanted to keep this podcast tight for people, just give them a quick burst of energy. I know you're busy facing all this Corona bullshit going on. So this is just one of the things that it shows your character. It shows what's great about you. It shows your willingness to serve during how busy you are. You're running your business. You find a block of time to just get on the show, and you're here. You're present. You're giving value to everybody. So I just want to give a couple minutes to you. Where can people get a hold of you? Where can they follow you? Where can they learn in depth more of your stories, more of your tactics, your techniques? Where can they go to find some of this info?
Absolutely, yes. You can follow me on Instagram at Josh York GG. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Josh York. Everything else is pretty much Josh York or Josh York GG. I want to learn more about the business, gymguys.com. And that's pretty much where I'm at.
I love it. I love it. Hey, Josh, dude, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know this was fast for everybody, but I love it because I just want to get that burst of energy and get into action. I don't know if we need to mess around much more than this. I think it's just about learning these things, get out there, work during this Corona time, during all this uncertainty in the market, all this stuff. It's okay that this is going on. It's going to be, how are you going to adapt? How are you going to move forward? How much energy are you going to put into what you're doing? I think that where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a possibility, there's something there for you. And I think that that's why I wanted to get you on. I really appreciate you taking time during your busy schedule to do this for us, brother.
My pleasure, man. I appreciate having me on. Thank you so much. And we'll definitely at some point connect soon.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron. Take care, bud.